spread instability across the continent by realizing the African Union's Agenda 20. Priska Akol, Ssbc News.
Governance to govern South Sudan. 150 participants, county commissioners, civil society, faith-based groups, and persons with disabilities, as well as women and youth groups attended the workshop. In his closing remarks, the National Minister of Federal Affairs, Lasuba Ludoru Wongo, said federalism would ensure devolution of power and resources to encourage development and accountability in management of resources. The State Deputy Governor, Dr. Lual Tongayat, called on the people of Northern Bahr el Ghazal State to disseminate information on the system of governance.
Clearly stipulated that we will have three levels of government. Three levels of government, which is the federal level, the state level, and then the local government level. The local government level will have administrative units where you have the parliament and then the province. Now, once you have these, and then the most important thing is how do we stipulate, how do we develop powers, politically, administratively, and financially, to all these three levels of government. Once you do that, and then you call yourself a federal system of government. And this must be enshrined in the permanent constitution. That's why the Minister of Federal Affairs, under the directives of the President, is working to ensure that we disseminate this information to the people. All these 10 states, and then also the administrative areas want to disseminate this information and then share experiences that we have collected from different federal countries, and then at the same time also learn from the experiences within the current decentralized system so that we can improve that system.
I have seen for the last 3 days, that will unite our people, take it. And how you start the people that can divide our people, throw it away. You know, that was always the debate way. Because had the people and Margaret, just I get a great deal for the benefit of our country.
And governments.
احنا جايين من الحرب ما عندنا قروش، بنيجي نلقى احنا الحاجات السعر حقته عالي، حتى المويه كان قبل كده ما في مويه، لكن الحمد لله الناس المنظمه جابوا مويه، بقينا نشيلوا مويه، نجيب الصف نشيلوا مويه، ناكلوا ذره، ما في اكل.
المواطن الجنوبي محتاج رعايه بالنسبه للوضع الحاصل ده، نحن قاعدين والوضع هنا والله بطال، ما بنقول انه يا اخي نحن ما قاعدين في الجنوب، اي نعم نحن في جنوبنا، لكن محتاجين انه نمشي بلداننا عشان الناس تاخذ راحتها.
دايرين يشيلونا من هنا يمشوا لاهلنا بس، انا عشان المطر ده اللي انقبى هنا ده حاسس ده عيالنا الفقار ده اللي هيموتوا، ما في المحل اللي احنا قاعدين فيه.
Welcome back from the break. You're watching the Ssbc English News Hour, coming to you live from the capital, Juba. Now, the government delegation to the African Agricultural Leadership Policy Dialogue Conference in Zambia returned to Juba on Saturday. Speaking to the media, the Minister of Agriculture and Food Security, Josephine Joseph Lago, said the conference focused on innovation and technology, innovation in digitalization, and innovation in research. Josephine said Minister of Agriculture, Livestock and Finance from Eastern and Southern region attended the conference in the Zambian capital, Lusaka.
This conference was organized by the World Bank. The conference brought together ministers of agriculture and livestock and also ministers of finance and planning from the Eastern and Southern African regions. The conference was attended by development partners, industry leaders, farmers groups, and all those concerned. It focused on how to increase production and productivity in agriculture and in livestock through mainly innovation in technology, innovation in digitalization, innovation in research, including smart agriculture and irrigation schemes. 2, investment by governments and private sector. This is particularly important because African countries have pledged to follow the Malabo Declaration, which encourages African countries to spend at least 10% of their annual budget on agriculture.
The National Minister of Wildlife Conservation and Tourism, Rizk Zakaria Hassan, said government is working to boost the country's tourism sector. Minister Rizk was addressing the 10th anniversary of Holiday Dreams Travel Management Company in Juba. John Taban has the report.
احتفلت شركة هولي دريمز لإدارة السفريات بالذكرى العاشرة من تأسيسها. وزير حماية الحياة البرية والسياحة إن الحكومة تعمل جاهدة لتطوير Holiday Dreams Travel Management Company celebrated its 10th anniversary in Juba. The Minister of Wildlife Conservation and Tourism, Rizk Zakaria Hassan, said the government is working to promote tour and travel agencies' activities in the country.
In fact, nowadays we are struggling so as to promote the activities of the tour and travel agencies. Because as you can see here in South Sudan, most of the agencies, they are just sticking to the travel aspects. But in the real sense of tourism, this sector is very vast. We do expect the tour and travel agencies to connect us with the global apparatus. They should develop their own websites. They are the one to do the promotion. They are the one to ease the incoming of the tourists, to host them here in South Sudan, to drive them to the protected areas.
The Indian ambassador to South Sudan, Vishnu Kumar Sharma, commended the relationship between the government of South Sudan and the India in business sector.
So Holiday Dreams and my other businessmen, I would like to thank also the local authorities for supporting them, and I would like also through you to convey to the local government to continue their efforts to make it more conducive for Indian businesses to come and settle here. Coming up to tourism, you are a tourism minister, and I see a lot of potential in South Sudan.
The Holiday Dreams Chief Executive Officer pointed out their new services that the company will launch soon.
Now, we would like to introduce our new service or extension of the services to our client in upcoming years. TripHolidays.com. This is an online portal, web-based portal, which we are going to launch soon, where our client can book their tickets or other travel-related services through their phones, through their laptops. Travel Shield. The second service which we want to introduce is the medical tourism, with the name of Travel Shield. Study abroad. We have tied up with many universities worldwide so that our South Sudan children can go for further studies, higher education studies. Visa Connect. Visa Connect is a solution to apply your visa from your doorstep. Upon any visa request, our specialist will fulfill the necessary documents and connect you to the embassy for the process of getting the visas.
A shareholder and director of Holiday Dreams, John Lomoro Edwards, said the company will work hard to support tourism sector in South Sudan.
It's been running the company for the last 10 years with professionalism, with dedication, expanding the company to over 5 countries: Sudan, Kenya, Uganda, and soon the good news that we are going to have one office in Dubai. And this is a great achievement in these 10 years of hard working and determination. I would like to assure our minister and all our planning that we are going to embark seriously in supporting the tourism sector in South Sudan.
It is to be noted that the company was established in 2013 with the purpose of specializing in promoting accessible tourism market. John Tabanwani, Ssbc, Juba.
The Deputy Minister of Interior, Peter Kwok inspected the National Prison Services as part of his tour of various departments to acquaint himself with the challenges facing the institutions. Speaking after the meeting with prisons officers, the minister pledged to address the problems raised by the people to promote service delivery.
ما في كلام كثير أنا بقول لكم لأنه نحن بنكون عندنا ضمن ثاني بنظم لكم عشان نجيكم نعمل زيارات ثاني وهيكون عندنا محاضرات بكون عندنا محاضرات وأنا بشوف لو عندكم مشاكل نحن بنجي نشارك معكم المشاكل.
Government has launched distribution of 2,370 rice bags to the 10 states and 3 administrative areas. The rice donated by the Chinese government will be distributed to returnees and other vulnerable groups in the country. The executive director of the South Sudan Sudan Relief Rehabilitation Commissioner Mawir Nyok Lual thanked China for the donation. A representative of Lake State Coordinator
well done by our National Commission, RRC in Juba. They're doing an amazing job to distributing this food to displaced people around the country. 10 states, plus 3 administrative areas. Everybody received their location. So the thank goes to our government, which is led by His Excellency, the President of the nation, which is Jaro Salva-Kiir Mayardit. So we really appreciate him for counterpart for the Chinese government.
It is not only to tell the people of the Republic of China thanks. Might not be enough, because they are going more and more and more, doing more things. Not only this, they are involved in infrastructure of South Sudan and so many other things. And with these rights, we have already distributed over 3,000 bags for reception of returnees. And the donation was actually usually coming on annual basis, 2 times or once a year. And this is the first allocation of this year. This is the first consignment of 2023. We are expecting another consignment by the end.
Government, in collaboration with UNICEF, has launched an action plan document for control and supervision of schools. The acting undersecretary in the Ministry of General Education and Instruction, Omot Konyi Olok, described the move as a positive step in improving teaching and learning environment across the country. Here's Mario Suleiman with a report.
The National Ministry of General Education and Instruction has launched a document to guide school inspection and supervision in an endeavor to improve and strengthen the education vision. Victoria of Education in the Transitional Legislative Assembly, Elizabeth James, described the plan as a roadmap for improving the quality of education. She referred to education as a global tool for economic development.
Education is a fundamental element for the socio-economic development of a nation. The education inspection framework is a set of standards, guidelines, and expectations for all.
Acting Undersecretary of Ministry of General Education and Instruction, Umar Olog, commend the Department of Inspection and Supervision for developing the document, saying the document is a positive step in improving the quality of education in the country.
Let me register my sincere thanks to the Directorate of Inspection for this great achievement. They have really made it great to develop the three very important documents: framework, guides, and tools. When we talk of quality component or quality education, we cannot get quality education without instruction.
The ministry has assigned 26 trainers to train education in inspection and supervisors in the states and 3 administrative areas.
Parliament has summoned Zain Mobile Company to explain the tariff adjustment. The company's chief executive officer, Khalid Moniem, briefed the Parliament on the activities and challenges facing the company. The head of the Parliament's Standing Specialized Committee on Information, John Agandeng, briefed the media after the meeting.
The Zain company is one of the first companies that we have in South Sudan. We appreciated their activities that they are doing, and we also wish to them that they will continue to do it, because this is, before it is a commercial purpose, it can also be a service to the people. So we have met with this team, very strong team led by this gentleman, and we believe that all in all we will continue to flourish in South Sudan, and we will also continue to do our activities with them, making some follow-up between the ministry and also the NCA and NRA.
We explained to the committee the challenges that faced by telecom operators in general and Zain in particular. We answered and explained to them about the last tariff adjustment, why it's needed, and what are the challenges and what are the benefits, even for the customers themselves and the whole country. And we as Zain policy or Zain strategy, as usual, we are very transparent, so we meant to be very transparent in all.
In Central Equatoria State, caucus discusses the problems facing the party as well as high prices of commodities in the market. This and more stories after the break. Stay with us.
حتى يشوفوا عيانين وما في مستشفيات عشان يمكن ياخذوا علاجات.
انا بناشد السيد الاولى انه مع وفد بتاعه انه لو قدروا بيحكموا الجنوب يتكاتف انه ينظروا للمواطن الجنوبي.
Welcome back from the break. If you're just joining us, you're watching the SSBC 8 o'clock English News. And now Central Equatoria SPLM caucus discussed the problems facing the party in the state as well as high prices of the commodities in the market. Meeting chaired by Governor Emmanuel Adil Anthony, who is also the state SPLM chairperson, touched on the challenges facing the transpired during the meeting.
Of goods in our markets in Juba and in all the markets in Central Equatoria State due to the current situation of economic hardshipness, and we like to devise way forward in order to rescue the people of Central Equatoria State and the people of Juba. We also deliberate on the issues that are affecting the cordial relationship between SPLM and the people, and also the legislature on how to cooperate with the
supporting the returnees who fled the Sudanese conflict.
We're here for official function and we'll be back to the ruling administrative area
We have started receiving the refugees. That's our big focus, our returnees and refugees in that corridor. Area. And we
report by Ding Garangjok.
The country is inching forward in the peace process to lay the ground for the general election at the end of the extended transitional period. The Ministry of Parliamentary Affairs has planned induction training program for members of state legislative assemblies to understand and discharge their parliamentary duties. Members of Jonglei State concluded the induction training program on Saturday. In a closing address, Jonglei State Minister of Parliamentary and Legal Affairs, Nyalela John Chwal, accepted the collective nature of parliamentary work.
أنا من جيت لقيت البرلمان ما مقبول أنا مشيت قابلت قبل أنا ما بقدر بعمل حاجة من تلقاء نفسي قام قال لي طيب كان برلماني جايين نتعامل صيانة.
The Director General of Legislative Affairs in the National Ministry of Parliamentary Affairs, Kelemen Nicholas Rombe, applauded the legislators for their participation and commitment. He looked forward to another opportunity for a similar training program.
It was really tremendous that boosted us and gave us the courage and the zeal that we are here. And it has been a very wonderful 3 days. And this is one of, on my personal level, this is one of the best trips that we've made.
The representative of the United Nations Development Program, Madam Lakshmi Pillai, said the UN agents would plan another series of training for members in the state legislative assemblies. She encouraged the lawmakers to understand their roles in the government machinery and follow the rules of procedures critically.
I would like to say that UNDP is very pleased to be working here, and I personally feel very privileged to be coming here and discussing all these finer points related to parliamentary and also the blessings that we have from the governor's office.
Peter Wellathu, representing members of Jonglei State Legislative Assembly, exhorted members in the State Legislative Assembly to abide by the state conduct of business regulation. He appreciated National Ministry of Parliamentary Affairs for initiating the training program.
Appreciation and my gratitude to all of you who came from Juba to come and lecture us here in Jonglei. And we have spent very nice 3 days full of knowledge, and we thank you very much.
Some of the participants in the induction training expressed their views on the program.
I want to say that we have indeed learned, and especially the new MPs.
As a honor, yeah, there's a need for me to have a good ethics. That is also will make a good relation between the executive and the legislature.
The induction training for state legislative assemblies initiated by National Ministry of Parliamentary Affairs and funded by the United Nations Development Program targeted the 10 states. Jonglei State is the 7th state to benefit from the induction training agenda. Reporting for Ssbc, Dengarangjok, Bor, Jonglei.
The Directorate of Civil Registry, Nationality Passports and Immigration has dismissed allegations on social media of black market practices in processing passports. The Director for Finance, Lieutenant Colonel Philip Kuch Manyuan, said the Directorate is applying the rates spelled out in the Financial Act 2022-2023. The Director for Moral Orientation, Information and Public Relations outstanding claims of the company supplying the booklets. He said the company is expected to supply more than 200,000 passport booklets.
But the concept, people will go out with preconceived ideas that we are selling passport for $250. Yes, $250, it is a business passport, not an ordinary passport. The ordinary passport, which is an adult passport, it is $100. Let our people be aware and mindful of our prices when they come to immigration. We have diplomatic passport. Diplomatic passport is $200. that cannot be mistaken with ordinary passport. Still, ordinary passport is $100. A minor passport for a child is $50. Cannot also be confused with a special passport, which is also $200. So we want to aware our public that when you come to the Department of Immigration, be mindful to deal with the right people.
We always ask the public, if you need a passport or nationality, you have to come direct to the Department of Passport or Nationality. Don't deal with any person here in the compound, because here many people are coming here on daily basis. Dealers, some organized forces here, many people.
And that is all the stories we had time for this evening. Thank you for being a big part of the SSBC English News Hour, coming to you live from the capital, Juba. I am a conduit. Until then, stick around for Arabic news coming up at 9 p.m. Good night.